السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من ناس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise him. We seek his assistance and we seek his forgiveness. We seek refuge from Allah from the evil of ourselves and our wicked deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides, none can guide. Whomsoever Allah does not guide, there is no protector for them. I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except for Allah, and that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his last and final messenger sent to mankind. Or you believe, fear Allah, he should be feared, and do not die except as a Muslim. For mankind, you fear your Lord who created you from a single soul, and then created from it its mate, and then from the both he created many, many more. And fear Allah to whom you demand your equal right, I do not cut off the ties of the whom that bore along children. You believe that Allah's word is both forward and truth. It will guide you to righteousness. And forgive you. You take Allah and Rasul for all their fast and whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, indeed they are the successful. As for that which follows, the most truthful speech is the book of Allah. And the best of all guidance is the guidance of Rasulullah. And the most foul and wicked and blameworthy of affairs is a bid'ah, a newly invented thing into the superior God. Every bid'ah is a dalala, they go astray, and every stray will take you to the fire. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah ta'ala, it'll take as long as it takes. I don't like talking for a long time. And usually, I don't want to say it goes in our ears because I think this goes from our hearts. And it's completely take a strong. And today, inshallah ta'ala, I want to make an attempt to bring this reminder. There's something of the greatest importance. This week. We have in our tradition that in the they used to take ayat Quran, in particular, this surah. The surah that I'm speaking about is one that usually we learn either at a young age, as we were born into Islam, or when we first became Muslim, right? In this surah. But it has a very strong meaning. What surah is that? Of course, I'm speaking of Surah Al-Asr. Imam Shafi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he made a statement about Surah Al-Asr. So he said that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set down this surah as a proof, right? On mankind would have been sufficient. Meaning that, not saying that it would have been enough as far as the Sharia, but that it's what lies inside of it is for them to seek guidance and follow this directly. Why? If you pay attention to what's happening inside this story, you will know that. On the other side of that, we have what Rasul sallallahu in the Sahih Hadith, Allah in the dunya, mawla, yeah. It's not the dunya, certainly cursed and everything. Back to Surah Al-Asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, well, we know that when Allah swears by anything, something next thing coming is of great importance. Should we pay attention? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He swears by time. He says, man is a host. Now, we know from the moment that we're born that we are dying. You know, from the moment that we're born, because we understand how this works. What does this mean? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, later on inside the story, He makes exceptions to this rule. Now, mind you, so someone said, what? It's not this dunya and everything getting cursed. So we know the dunya is cursed. Except the members of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what's the most important thing? Right? This is the most important thing. So Allah tells us that mankind is in a perpetual state of lost life. Because if there is an absence of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's an absence of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you're in a state of loss. But if we're not working together, if we're not helping each other, if we're not striving together, I can't leave you behind. Why? one of these, a great quote from this great scholar. He wrote in his work that he presented to his sheikh. He presented his work to his sheikh, and he was this whole book called the book that's actually called the Hikmah, right? The wisdom. And it's all of these things from fikr. You can say dhikr, I said fikr, which is reflection, which is pondering, right? And then one of his statements, he said that he has given you three gifts, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given three gifts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us three gifts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us three gifts. This is for my brother, his reflection. He has given you three gifts. Number one, he has let you remember it. Allah. He has allowed you to remember him. Now, this is when we start. This is when we start to think. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed you to remember him. Now, this for a second. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed you, me, all of us to remember him. Now, what is the hadith? Now, think of the hadith we hear and that we read. Do you remember the hadith? I'll remind you. Remember me to yourself. I will remember you to myself. You remember me in a group, I will remember you in a better group. It's a hadith. Sahih hadith. SubhanAllah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed you to remember it. Now this is how key and important this remembrance is and why. And he says, if it were not for his ni'mah, his bounty, right, you would not be worthy. So SubhanAllah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses whom he wills. He gives this thing to whom he wills. He made you worthy of his remembrance. Look at how great you really are. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made this remembrance. He wrote it for you. What you say that comes off your lips, he wrote that for you. He wrote that for you. And that he said that if it was not for his ni'mah, you would be worthy to engage in his remembrance. Number two, he mentioned Allah, Abdullah, Amatullah, the greatest name. Abdullah, Amatullah, he made you mentioned along with him. SubhanAllah. Ya ibadi, you're his slave. We are his, we're his servants. Along with Allah, and he mentions us in his name. In relation to him, SubhanAllah. Ya ibadi, SubhanAllah. Look at this. Look at this. Endearing relationship with Allah. Number three, he made remember. He made you remembered by him because remember off your tongue and says on your heart. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So again with number three, he made you remember by him, thus he has perfected the blessing. He has blessing.
Whole thing we get another.
Now,
Whole thing we get another.
Now, not so strange enough. Now, when I say some things like, I say, okay, this is no Muslim. You say, oh, yeah. right? You know what that is, right? Fortress of the Muslim, right? So, what is a fortress? A fortress is something that guards, right? It's a barrier. It's something that protects. The irony that we have, especially right now, right, with the virus, this visible enemy that's making people, killing some people, and begins to the left, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what about the other invisible enemy that we're constantly been under attack since the time we were born? Shaitan. We know that jinn means the hidden from the eyes of man. We can't see them. But we know that Shaitan is our enemy. We make all the precautions to make sure that we take that liquid disinfectant and everything, disinfect and what you call that, sanitize and everything else. But how do you protect this? In what way do we protect this? Why? Because the absence of the remembrance of Allah, loss. Allah said, but it's also something that taking his dunya first. Now we know the concept that there is some deeds where there's no reward and there's no benefit, right? No reward, no benefit. We call it doing nothing, right? It's called doing nothing. I'm just chilling. I'm not doing anything. I'm not committing those sins. I'm not doing anything. What are you doing? Greater than that. You've been honored with something so worthy. So worthy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed you to remember him. Did you choose that? Did you choose to do nothing? Well, I'm not doing anything. It's not haram. Is that what you're here for? Is that your purpose? One of the things that, when you think about Tawheed, and you think about your deeds and your actions, you just look at it, you make it one for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a lot of times we have this surface understanding of what that means. And then we think about Hadith Jibril, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. This is the highest kind of iman. That we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if we see him, even though we cannot know that he sees us. So imagine, go down, you at work, you got nothing, some downtime, you do nothing. What happens is you move. I'm act like I'm doing it. So act like you're crying if you can't cry. So some say act like you're crying if you can't cry. When our hearts are empty, there's no light. The Nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the dhikr of Allah. And dhikr, and reflecting over his ayat and keeping shaitan from pulling at those strings and tugging at them. We have, I'll give you this last thing. There is a dua. And I think I left a picture over there that has the same as this. And all it is, it seems like it's a whole lot of that's and the authenticity and the method, the rate of the hadith. But it's in Arabic and it also has a Roman transliteration. And it's so, but anyway, this hadith is that it's narrated by Ibn Hussein, who reported Rasulullah. He heard a man supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said, "Oh Lord, I ask you by my witnessing, my testimony, my shahada, right? That you are Allah."
They don't let you in.
My witnessing that you are Allah.
Let you in.
La ilaha illa anta.
You trying to turn it on?
Refuge. Who does not no one is keeping. Now, most of us know most of the.
Look at it by you.
Consider that.
Let this over there by you.
We recite these ayat all the time.
Over there on the table.
reflect upon. We cannot, like, one of the most amazing things is that when you have a believer, like you have a believer and a disbeliever, you got. Wow. The absence of the lost in the absence of the some that's just holy, but he or she has a chance. Because they're still alive, they still got time. And by the mercy of Allah, if he honored them with this deed, then it's still opportunity for them. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extends his hands during the day for the sinners at night. And he sends his hands at night for the sinners during the day. So there's always a chance to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the idea of this perpetual state of loss, meaning that there is no moment where we be not doing anything. I always think about, when I think about Ta'asa, I think about a movie, because this movie reminded me of being out of time. Why? The movie they had a thing on their arm, and then as they reach a certain age, it starts counting down. Their life begins to end. So everything that when they went to work, they got paid in time. When they went to purchase water, milk, food, they had to pay with their life. Their life depended on everything. It's like the life of a Muslim. Our life depends on everything that we do. Our akhirah is our. This is temporary for us. We make the best out of it for akhirah. I got up and thought about what we were putting forward for tomorrow. I'm not talking about tomorrow as far as Saturday. No, I'm talking about tomorrow as far as when we're in the public. Tomorrow, what did we put forward for Jannah today? If we wake up with the attitude we're going to put something forward for Jannah today. Not when I'm sick, on my deathbed, or when the reminder comes, because something backbreaking can occur. Something backbreaking can occur, and we can be out of here. I'm not talking dead, I'm talking about out of Islam. You have Muslims today, because of the absence of the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have Muslims today who believe that, we're living in the matrix world. This is assimilation. Muslims, people who call themselves or still call themselves Muslims, that have this like belief. This is what this nonsense with this, these parallel dimensions and all these other different things like that. Why? Because there's no connection to the book of Allah. There's no connection to the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no fikr. People are not reflecting. Or are we just saying words that we just say? Do we know how strong and powerful that these words are? Someone said, when this man had called upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this dua, this is a dua that didn't come from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It didn't come from the Quran. We know part of it did, because it's in the Sunnah, and there's some words that are from the Quran and the Sunnah, right? But this dua, he put it together. More about Allah. By the one who says, in my soul, he asks Allah by his greatest name. Now, some of the ulama, they say that this statement, the greatest, should mean that his great name. Why? Because we don't elevate one name over another name of Allah. They're all the greatest names. They belong to Allah. So, because he mentioned other names as well in different hadith that are also sahih. So he said, he called Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by his greatest name, for which he answers when called upon and gives when asked. Now we have him of a hadith to where we can call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala same dua. We should ask Allah that we remember him more, and that we are not the people who are lost. And that we're not wasting our capital, which is our life, on nothingness, on I'm doing nothing, I'm just chilling. I'm just relaxing. Alhamdulillah, do whatever you wish. Do whatever that you wish, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you leeway to do that. But inna salati nusuki mahti living your life. Your sacrifices are for Allah. Everything is for Allah. This is the perfection. And this is the highest. This is the muhsin. This is the muhsin. This is what we strive for. When Umar ibn al-Khattab had told one of the Sahabas to stop saying the hadith that everybody who says La ilaha illallah was going to paradise. And he said, why? He said, because Muslims are supposed to do great things and they want to depend on that. That took my shahada, I'm good. Then everything stops because of that. No. There should be a striving, a constant striving, a constant motivation. And this morning, It's a warning. Al-Ars. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. SubhanAllah. But are we listening? Are we listening? It's a truly amazing situation that we can find ourselves wasting our lives. Literally. Wasting our lives. Why? You say, okay, there's a time for this, there's a time for that, right? Rasulullah sallallahu and Riyadh al-Salihin, hadith number 1,809. Sahih hadith, we find it also in Sahih Muslim, where Rasulullah said that he said sometimes that he perceives a veil over his heart. And he says, and that he supplicates, that he makes the heart of Allah and says, Astaghfirullah. Now we know Rasulullah was forgiven for his sins, future sins. He was guaranteed to go to Jannah. But he still said that he says Astaghfirullah 100 times a day. When you look at the concept of istighfar and astaghfirullah and what that means, we know it's means seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Know that, right? What happens when you say astaghfirullah and you didn't do anything? See? Astaghfirullah, even if you didn't do anything, because you probably did something, you forgot something, or you're not maximizing what your potential is. Allah knows your potential because He honored you to remember Him. He honored you with this greatest thing, this greatest remembrance. He could have gave it to anyone. And we know the hadith of Rasulullah that if we didn't commit sins, Allah will replace with somebody that did. Why? Because we turn to Him, thinking His forgiveness. Why? Because He loves to forgive. And He wants to forgive us. We become better when we do better. We become better when we know better. But we have to be reflecting upon the Quran and the Sunnah. One of the things that, baffles me sometimes, I got this paper, and I'm not advertising nothing like that, but this paper here has a circle. And what these brothers and sisters, everybody that was involved in this, this is 50% of the words inside the Quran. 50%. Now here's a shocker. 50% of the words that's inside the Quran is in the Adhkar of Salah. So we are walking around with at least a minimum, and then from some of the surah that we learn, those short surah that's in lectures that we know and recite, 50% of the Quran, 50% of the words of the Quran. But how many of these words and these things do we actually reflect upon? Or what is it that we stop at a limit to where as though we only remember, but so much that we go about this far and then we stop. We start putting up barriers. And I'll end, inshallah, from Ibn Ati Allah, rahimahullah ta'ala, this is, he says a sign of abandonment is that you become free from things that busy you. He says that a sign of abandonment, right, and he meaning abandonment by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is that you, or your abandonment, because it goes both ways, that is a sign of abandonment is that you become free from the things that busy you, like your work, like your family, like this, like your that, or anything that will make you busy. You become free from that, yet you still don't turn. Because we chill, we're doing nothing. I'm relaxed. And he says that and that your barriers, meaning that now we have things that we put up. You say, well, I can't do that because I ain't got the money. So I can't make Hajj, I can't make Umrah, I can't go travel to go seek this thing, I can't go to this place, that place, I can't get money, I can't, we have all these barriers we put up, no matter what they are, they're barriers, right? You say, I can't learn this because that's too hard. Well, 50% of the crowd you already know. 50% of the crowd you already know. 50%. You say it every day. Some part of it, some portion of it, we have it, inshallah. So put these barriers up. And then he says that, and then when the barriers aren't there, you still don't. Because we understand the law. And everything in it is first, except for the
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Qad qamatus